asked the Nigerian government to charge the suspended chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which is Nigeria's economic and financial crimes watchdog, Abdulrasheed Bawa, to court or release him immediately. Bawa has been in detention since being suspended on June 14, 2023 by President Bola Tinubu over allegations of corruption. According to Shehu, there is no more justification for the continued detention of Bawa at a time when small and big-time criminals, he said, of all shades and colors are within and around the corridors of power. Well, glad to say we have joining us tonight on New Central Continental Prime, a public affairs analyst, Najib Bello. He joins us to give his view on this development. Very good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time, Najib.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Do you agree, well, 3 months after his detention, the chairman of Nigeria's anti-corruption watchdog is yet to be charged? You consider this an infringement of his fundamental human rights?
Yes, of course it is. No one should be held for that long legally without being charged with any crime. So I think no one should be charged, should be held for more than 60 days, 56 to 60 days, without being charged to court. So as of now, he's been illegally detained, as it were. And from what we heard, from what I heard from Mr. Wale Edun earlier, he was talking about the 8 points that Nigeria is going to focus on, and one of them is justice. So we need to start seeing, for a new government that is just coming into office, we need to see justice being delivered on their part. We've seen Emefiele charged to court after so much pressure and appeal, but we don't need to always do this. The government knows the right thing to do, and they should charge Bawa or let him go.
Interesting. Would you describe his continued detention as being more of a political witch hunt, considering that his commission is handling several corruption cases against some key government officials?
Well, I wouldn't know the basis of his detention, so I cannot conclude that it's a witch hunt. Left to me, I've not seen any case that he has directly with the president. And if it was an issue of cases he has with current ministers, current senators, ex-governors, they could as well dismiss him and let him go home rather than holding him in detention for whatever reason. So I can't say right now, sitting here, that it's a witch hunt, because it's a new government. The president could decide to let him go, sack him, suspend him, or whatever they want to do. And there's no need for him to be in detention. So we are yet to understand what is going on. We don't know for now what they are holding him for. We don't know his crime. And for now, that's the thing with this kind of detention. No one knows what the man has done exactly. No one knows his offense. And that's why it's an anomaly.
Very interesting, Najib. Do you think Bawa should use what I call the Emefiele approach, which is to go to the courts and say, hey, either charge me or let me go, just like Gordon Emefiele, the suspended CBN governor, did recently?
Yes, of course. That's the right thing for him to do. I think he's being patient because he's himself a security agent. So he's trying to be honorable. He's trying to follow some kind of how will I say? I don't want to call it esprit de corps, but he's different from Emefiele in that Emefiele is purely a civilian, but he is trying to follow some kind of code of conduct among fellow security agents. And I feel that this should make even his colleagues, show some kind of concern and let the government know that we need to charge this man so that it doesn't seem like we are being the problem to our colleagues. So he doesn't need to go that far, but then if the government insists on holding him indefinitely, he will have no choice. His lawyers will have no choice than to go to the court and ask them to charge him or let him go.
Very interesting. We want to thank you very much for your time. Najib Bello, a public affairs analyst.
Thank you for having me.
Right.